Hello, I'm Matthew Osman. I am the Product Director at 3D Repo. I just want to thank ODA for having us on for this brief presentation into 3D Repo, what it does and why we set it up in the first place. So a quick introduction, 3D Repo is a cloud-based tool for managing BIM data. The platform's designed to help users collaborate easily on BIM projects and manage not just the 3D geometry, but also the underlying data. So first, a little reason why we started 3D Repo in the first place. We believe that BIM software is too complex, and with that complexity comes knowledge silos. And those knowledge silos can struggle to interoperate. And we also believe that data should be accessible with no proprietary data lock-in. So 3D Repo is committed to supporting as many different formats as possible, both open and proprietary. And every project is different, and I'm sure many of you who've worked in construction understand that point. So a little bit about how it works. 3D Repo processes 3D models via a range of libraries, including the ODA libraries for Navisworks, Revit, and DGN, as you can see in that top left corner. We break down files into a database format, which allows us to split the storage of model elements and metadata, so they can be queried either together or independently. Once that data is in the 3D Repo cloud, but we also offer private deployments and own cloud hosting, you can access the game engine optimized assets via Unity or Unreal, or utilize one of the 3D Repo created applications, with 3drepo.io being our flagship application. Not only can you access the data via the 3D Repo developed front ends, you can also use our APIs to push and pull data from any other platform that utilizes APIs. Some examples of this are pulling all of the metadata out of a model to analyze it in Power BI, or syncing our safety base risks with SharePoint lists. And I'm going to go into safety base a little bit in a little while. You can also combine data from our server with our model viewer API to build your own web-based 3D applications. So here are a few of the tools we've made available in our 3D Repo IO platform. So we've got the standards like issue tracking, we've got Safety Base, which is our health and safety risk management platform. We also can bring in 4D sequences from Synchro, and we have a proprietary patented 3D diffing technology. To take a bit of a deep dive into Safety Base, we take advantage of the easy to understand nature of 3D models to report, track and mitigate risks both during the design and construction phases of a project. By adding pins and descriptions directly into the model, you can involve more stakeholders, which has proven to capture more risks as you're leveraging the experience of the professionals who will be working and interacting with the site the most and have also got the most experience of working on previous sites. We worked in partnership with Discovering Safety to comply with PAS 1192 Part 6, and this is just an example of how the core platform of 3D Repo can be leveraged for specific use cases. Turning to model validation now, by linking up our API with common data environments such as Asite and ProjectWise, we're able to pull models into 3D Repo automatically and run rules-based validation on the content of the metadata. So here we're showing a rule set which is identifying the absence of the design ID field in the models, in particular in doors in this instance, so any doors that don't have the required design ID field. Once we've identified that there are a significant number of doors without this particular attribute, we can review the information in the browser. We can start to pick up all of the other rule sets that have been reviewed on the project, and we can raise issues and assign them directly to the author of the particular model. And then to finish, a quick overview of how data-driven approach to model storage can help with regards to embodied carbon visualization. Here we're seeing the 3D Repo model viewer embedded inside Power BI with embodied carbon data imported from a third-party library and applied to the model elements. So live in real time you can navigate that model, interact with the charts and have the model filter and change color accordingly. By integrating with Power BI in this way, both the 3D model and the carbon data source are free to be updated independently of each other, with the end result being a simple to understand dashboard which can be distributed in the browser. So hopefully that was a quick taster of 3D Repo and helpful to some people who haven't seen us before. So as I mentioned, I'm Matthew Osman, the Product Director here at 3D Repo. If you've got any questions, just reach out to me. You can find me on LinkedIn. So again, thank you very much for ODA for having us for this presentation, and enjoy the rest of the summit.